Let's take a look at the material editor in Revit. If we have an object like this floor, we can select it, go to Edit Type, and then for this family, if you're going to change it, you'll want to duplicate it. So you'll click the Duplicate button and give it another name. And then under Structure, pick Edit. Here under the Edit Assembly, we can insert another material. And for that function, call it Finish 1. And then under Material, we can change here by clicking on that small icon to the right of by category, the material. We can now do a search for carpet if that's something that we're interested in, and we'll see the carpets that are loaded in this project in this top area. And then we have two libraries down here, the Autodesk Materials Library and the AEC Materials Library. So if we take this search out, you'll see that there are several categories in both the Autodesk Materials and the AEC Materials Library. We can even create our own favorites library just by dragging and dropping a material into it. So coming back to the Autodesk Materials, you can select a material like fabric and take a look through that library. If, for instance, you'd like to load the fabric, you can double click and it will be a part of now your document. By double clicking on the material that's in the document, you'll get the material editor. The material editor actually edits the material that you're applying to this floor in this project. And each material has different aspects. For the graphics aspect, we're talking about when the visual display is on shaded. You'll see these displays. You can change the color, the surface pattern, the cut pattern. The appearance is for rendering. And in this appearance properties, depending on the material that you've selected, you'll have properties that you can change, like the transparency and different settings that relate to that material. In 2012, we had one dialog box with a list of the materials on one side and these properties on the other. In 2013, they've separated the dialog boxes, and in 2014, they've actually put them back together, keeping here the same appearance as 13, but creating just one dialog box. Once you've selected the material from the library, if you don't already have the material in the document, and applied that material to your object that you have selected in the material editor and change some of the graphics, you can pick Done and Apply. Each material is defined by properties that apply to these different aspects. So for instance, aluminum would have some physical properties that are a little more mechanical than, let's say, carpet, and thermal properties which can be applied to energy analysis software like Ecotech Analysis. A material like brick would have different properties than aluminum or carpet. You can also right-click and duplicate these materials so that you can create your own. Once you duplicate the material, you can highlight it, right-click, and pick Rename to give it its new name based on what type of material it is or possibly where it's used. Once you rename your material, hold your left mouse button down on the new material and drag and drop it into your favorites. So for this example, I'll double click on carpet, and then we can change the color of the shading in the appearance aspect, which will be more about rendering. You can change the image and several other properties of that carpet, including the bump pattern, the image that will show the appearance of depth. When you're done, you can pick Done and Apply and OK. Here it's at the bottom, so I need to highlight this finish and pick the Up button to bring it up within this Edit Assembly dialog box. We can even preview here the assembly, showing that I need to place a thickness in this carpet. I can make it a 1/4 inch and pick OK. And then pick OK again. And you'll see your image. You can go to shading and see that I changed it to a different color. And realistic will show an even different color based on realistic being closer to the rendering appearance.